Hello, welcome to Toffee TV. It is the match preview. Everton versus Burnley, Goodison Park. A must-win game and an opportunity to win a game of football since we beat Burnley.
What happens?
Yes, synergy. Full circle. And, you know, for Sean Dyche, Burnley. Makes perfect sense that he's waited for this long to win a game.
Possibly.
Burnley are on a bit of an upturn, aren't they? 4 games unbeaten. Look to have maybe steadied the ship a little bit, and it's going to be a tough game, this, isn't it?
It is going to be a tough game because we're not playing well at all. We've ground out a result at Newcastle the other night. But like you just said, 4 months since we won a game of football, since we last beat Burnley. And I'll be honest, when we won that night, I didn't think we'd be sat here in April not having won a Premier League game since then, because that night we were so comfortable, weren't we, at Turf Moor? We got 2 goals up, it was a comfortable victory. And yeah, we've not won since, and that is terrifying, absolutely terrifying. They have had an upturn in form. I think they're 4 unbeaten, aren't they, like you say there, and we know this is a huge pressure game. There can be no, from our perspective, there can be no other result that's acceptable than an Everton victory at the weekend, and that's far from guaranteed. So it's going to be a tough game.
Do you think Burnley have just become a little bit more street smart in the last couple of months, whereas beforehand they were a little bit open? The goalkeeper was making mistakes, even though he's a very promising goalkeeper. They were getting caught again and again, probably doing the same thing, having a lot of possession, not taking chances. You know, do you think that the little turn is just some of their players have gone? You know, if we cut out some of the nonsense. If we don't overplay, if we go a little bit more direct, if we play to the strengths of maybe some of the players, more experienced players, that will give us a little bit of breathing room, because the Premier League isn't amazing. I think, you know, everyone does love to overcook the Premier League, but if we just get back to basics, it could really help us out.
Yeah, I think they've been a little bit more direct, haven't they? I think they've played nice football, but they've kind of gone a little bit back to front quicker, I think, in recent games. They were very unlucky not to win at Stamford Bridge. I know they rode the luck at times as well, but they did have 10 men from the 40th minute. Yeah. Jay Rodriguez hits the crossbar in the 98th minute or something, and scissor kicks the rebound just over the bar. It would have been an unbelievable win for them. So, you know, I think they were the better side against Wolves the other night at Turf Moor and drew that one as well. So, yeah, I think they have. I think David Datro Fofana has been a decent, you know, outball for them up top. Got a couple of goals as well. And it is just getting... You see this sometimes with promoted sides. They eventually get used to the pace of the Premier League and not taking chances, and sometimes it comes too late. I think potentially it'll come too late for Burnley this season. Just because the form would have to be a big upturn. It's not a foregone conclusion because of the results of late. But if this had the click 6 weeks ago for them and 7 weeks ago, who knows what would have happened. But it's still going to be a hugely tough game, and they do still give up a lot of chances. You know, in that Chelsea game, Chelsea had 30 attempts at goal, and I think Everton will get opportunities at the weekend. It's whether we can take them. I think Burnley have conceded 30 goals away, I think it is, so far this season. So Everton, I think the most he conceded in the Premier League was 36 away, I think, under Sean Dyche. So we've got to make sure that we take our opportunities as and when they come at the weekend. Yeah,
definitely. I think, no, the goal scoring's obviously, you know, I think they scored 2 in both of the last couple of away games, which are obviously Chelsea and West Ham. So obviously there's been an upturn in the goals. They've had a win at home, a win against home against Brentford, wasn't it? And obviously with Brentford had a player sent off quite early. The draw against Wolves this week, so they've been playing decent teams as well and getting results. I think for us it's a case of at least we can see that coming. At least that they have had an upturn. It's not people. I don't think people are going into the game Because I think there's an idea of, like there was a few weeks ago, of the home games and going, yeah, we'll win those. I mean, I don't know why any Everton fan would think that, but there was almost that idea. But I think now it's not. I think it's actually put a few people on their toes, rather than thinking we'll go into this game and we'll be. It's you know, just got to turn up and win it. It'll be tougher than that, and I think that's not a terrible mindset to go into the ground with. I think the worst thing is if you go into with the mindset going into a ground thinking, oh, all we got to do is turn up today and we'll win this because these are absolutely terrible. It doesn't work like that, and we shouldn't be thinking about that. Whether it's Burnley, whether it's Sheffield United, whether it's Forest, they'll be very tough games because we're not that much better than them, if at all better than them. So, and Burnley, for them, I think they'll be looking at this game thinking, if we could beat Everton and they get a points deduction next week,
game on.
You know what I mean? That's a 9-pointer right there. We're back in the mix, you know, and we've got someone to go after. You know, obviously not just Luton and not just Forest. We've got another team to go after and drag them into it. So it is a game that we've got to be very, very careful. Yes, we've beaten them a couple of times already this season. You know, we were very comfortable against them when we beat them at home. But when we beat them in the League Cup, we were at a good point of the season. Wasn't quite their first team, and it's quite easy that night. To be fair, they had a couple of moments. It ain't gonna be like that on Saturday.
No, well, it was two very easy games that we played them in. Yeah. Because we got goals and got ahead, and it made it easier then. They are a different proposition now, so it's not going to be easy in the slightest. And they still create a lot of chances. They don't take a lot of the chances, but they do create a lot of chances. Yeah. So Everton are going to have to be on the metal. But you're absolutely right. In some respects, it's better. They've had this upturn in form. If this was 4 games ago when they first got it, and the next minute you're 2-0 down after 20 minutes, and you're like, where's this come from? These are rubbish, right? That kind of thing, that mindset. I don't think any Evertonian will go in to Goodison Park at the weekend and think these are rubbish, because they're not. Yeah. They just haven't been. They're just being impotent this season, really, the same as us, ironically. But the flip side to that is, if you want to look at it the other way, Everton have amassed 32 points this season, and should be 13 points ahead of Burnley going into this game. Points deductions have brought that back down to 7, obviously. But we have won more games than anybody in the bottom half, or as many as the highest winner in that bottom half. So it's just the problem is we've had 4 terrible months of football, and that's been an issue for us. We snatched defeat from the jaws of a draw or a victory last week at Bournemouth, because I still look and think, I don't know how we lost the game, because they were poor and we were even worse. We threw that away. We were terrible for 65 minutes at Newcastle the other night, and then when we almost realised that we'd had a little bit of the rub of the green, where normally things had gone against us, it hadn't. We sort of picked our heads up and went, actually, come on, there's something here for us. Yeah. And when we went after it and were a little bit more free, we ended up getting a good point in the end. So I hope that from 3 o'clock, the players can just get on it and get that intensity, because if we get the intensity at Goodison Park and engage the crowd, we'll win this game. Yeah, the worst thing that can happen on Saturday is if we start slow and they take advantage of it straight away. Get the confidence from it. And we have to start. You have to energise the crowd. There'll be nervousness around, of course. And it's good that Dom scored the other night, because it just takes that one less thing. Worrying about Dominic. Well, what about this stat? Go on. Since the start of last season, all 9 of Everton's Premier League home wins have been to 0. Yeah. So we've not won a game where the opposition has scored at Goodison since the start of last season. That's terrifying. And we've lost 9 of the last 14 Premier League home games against promoted sides. We've only won 3 and drawn 2. As many defeats as we'd suffered in our previous 64 games. That's embarrassing. That's a culture, that, as far as I'm concerned. That's a culture of the way
the club is running.
A lot of them games, though, mate, have been the mindset that you said before, where we've just gone on, these are crap, they're promoted, we'll batter these, and before we know it, we're behind, and we've had no way of being able to turn that round. We've already lost to Luton this season.
No, you go back to Luton early in the season, there was that thing of like, oh, this is the one, this is the gimme, this is the gimme, and before you know it, you're 1-0 down, and, then you're 2-0 down, and you're like, now this is where the fight starts. We've got to start the fight from the first minute. And that's what was evident on the other night at St James's Park. It was like when the subs came on, suddenly there was a realisation that we could get something out of the game. And why isn't the manager putting that into the players from the start? And I will put that on the manager. That is on the manager to set that. And the coaches to set it from the first minute you go out. And if he doesn't like it, this is where subs come in. Because if you're watching something and you don't like it, I'm sorry, you've got to make changes, and those changes might be before half time if you're Fulham,
if you're Marco Silva,
or Mourinho back in the day. But at half time, this has happened far too many times this season where players have just should have been hooked, have been get away with it, and then still don't come off for another 25 minutes.
Or so.
Yeah, and that to me is that is 100% on the manager, whether you like him, whether you don't like him. That stuff has to be set on the manager by the. To go out there and say to the players, you go out from the first whistle and you start them.
The only game I can remember us doing it properly this season with intensity from the first whistle was Bournemouth, and it was our best home performance. I know we beat Newcastle 3-0, that was a good performance, but the Bournemouth one, we were on them immediately right from the word go.
We scored early and everyone settled down.
They couldn't get out their own box because we were on them, and that's he's got to somehow create that dynamic for Saturday. It's got to be that, and you know what? The crowd will respond. If Everton come out fast and get on them and take the ball off them, and the crowd will be up, which will carry the team. We haven't seen that. We haven't seen that for 4 months. We've been slow.
We haven't seen ponderous. That. We haven't seen that for years.
We've only won 3 home games.
This is one of the things we talk about quite often is engaging with the fan base, and of course. The way it is at Goodison, people are tired, people are fed up, people are angry, people don't know how to express all of those emotions because you're not giving them the other option, which is the joy and getting that out of the system. And I said this, I think I said this on the 1878 podcast, which you should all go and watch because it's amazing. Oftentimes at Goodison, we all know this, is that emotion can come out in other ways, which is over the years, the tackle, the refereeing decision, whatever it is that gets people going, that sparks, gets people off the seats, that winds people up, that whatever it is that gets people going when we don't start maybe too well, or even that one chance where the opposition miss one and you all go, how did he miss that? And you go, right,
let's go.
The whole crowd goes, what? Come on. I remember when we played it was Martinez's second season, we were in Europe when we played Kiev, and they missed a chance, and like in unison, everyone went, wake up! And Stephen Naismith turned around to the Goodison and just sort of went, how did you all do that in one mind? We were all fuming because they should have scored and they didn't, and it was like, we were absolutely fuming, and it's that thing sometimes, and that happens because we start games slow, and obviously something happens. But if you start a game fast and you keep going, and after 20 minutes you keep going and you keep going and you keep going, the crowd will back you because they've got something.
And you don't settle the opposition.
You've got something to back. I sit in the Goodison, you sat in the Goodison for years. People without being insulting to anyone, and don't think I am being insulting, and I'm part of this, we don't know how to react like in a positive way to negative situations. We're not that fan base. We're not a fan base that can sit there and go, oh, well done, sir. I've seen people have stand-out rows with people who stand up and are telling people to back the team when we're getting beat by Luton 2-0. Do you know what I mean? Because we need an outlet for our frustration, because that is... A lot of people go, it's a disgrace when people have a go at the players, but we're a working class fan base who look at this situation and go, if you don't wake up to this by me going fucking wake up to this, then what's going to wake you up by when the game is so the game, the way it's played now, is that you don't have those 50-50s. You come out after the game, you look at the stats and you see how many tackles players have gone and gone, how have none of our midfielders made a tackle today? Like on Tuesday, Onana made 2 tackles. Garner came on and didn't make 1 tackle. And neither did Andre Gomez. The midfielders don't tackle. So how do you get that spark? How do you get out that emotion out?
The Phil Neville moment.
You play on the front foot and you win the ball back high and it just galvanises the crowd. You win it back, go again. And the fans will go with you if you allow the game to drop. And we all know what happens. It's like this is where, again, people insult the intelligence of people who watch football, go every week. When you watch football, there's only so many ways football can go. When you're watching a team build, you know what's coming. You know exactly what is coming. When Luton had all those corners, you knew you were going to score off a corner, and they did. And it's like people in football don't understand that momentum side. The same way when referees make decisions, and as a fan, as a player, you go, how did you not realise that he's just conned you into that? It's like we see it from different ways, and Everton have got to understand that the fan base can be such a powerful tool. But if you get on the wrong side of it, and I hate this thing of keep them quiet for 20 minutes, you'll make them hostile. Of course you'll make us hostile, because that means for 20 minutes Everton didn't play football, didn't try.
I think the problem we've got now is we are a coiled spring, because we've been battered from pillar to post.
Absolutely.
For years. Mashiri come in and it was all, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And we were promised the earth and we've had nothing in return. It's got worse to the situation where we're about to find out about a 2 points deduction. So we are a coiled spring. So you've got to try and get us activated, as the manager would say, and keep us interested. And you do that by, like you said, listen, the way we play football is not conducive to getting you on the edge of your seat. But so you've got to do that with endeavour. You've got to do that with intensity. You've got to do that with crosses into the box and shots. And you've got to put a team like Burnley on the back foot. And if we put a team like Burnley on the back foot with a nice football inside, if you can get them hemmed in and the crowd playing its part, you can overcome them. Not everyone, lots of teams have beat them. They've lost whatever it is, 19, 20 games this season. They're not a great side by any stretch. But they're improving, and if you allow them to play football, they will create chances, and they're starting to score goals. So Everton have got I've always believed the best form of defence is attack. Get after them and put them on the back foot. And I think what you can do with it at Goodison, and if you get it right at Goodison, you win games. The reason why Everton won 3 games at home all season is because we haven't got it right. We just haven't got it right. There's been too many games where you're sat there and after 15 minutes nothing's happened, and the players are... How many games have you witnessed in the last few years where the away teams come out and you think, get a fast start today, and after 2 or 3 minutes they're just knocking the ball about, and you're Everton are like sat in a defensive shape and you're going, what's happening? Why can't we get the ball? And the away team are just stroking it round and everything's flattening and flattening and flattening, and then it becomes a game of football where it's just, we're just on it could be any pitch this. Not a home game now, because it could just be any pitch. We have to make it so they feel under pressure right from the off.
Absolutely. Right, let's have a little look at the stat pack for the game.
This Saturday, the 6th of April, 3 o'clock kickoff at Goodison Park, Everton take on Burnley in the Premier League. The two teams have met 17 times in the Premier League, a total of 9 wins going to the Toffees and 7 to Burnley and 1 draw. Burnley have won twice out of their 7 wins at Goodison Park. In the reverse fixture this season, Everton beat Burnley 2-0 at Turf Moor back in December with a goal from Onana and a second goal from Michael Keane a few minutes later. Everton actually played Burnley 2 years ago on the 6th of April, which ended in a 3-2 win to Burnley at Turf Moor. The last time Burnley beat Everton at Goodison Park was March 2021, a 2-1 victory over the Toffees. The season so far, Everton 16th, they've won 8 games, drawn 8 and lost 14 games. Burnley sit 19th, they've won 4, drawn 7 and lost 20 games. Burnley have only kept 2 clean sheets this season, whereas Everton have kept 8. The top scorer between the two teams is Abdoulaye Doucouré. He is still on 6 goals and is still Everton's top scorer. Burnley's top scorer this season is joint between Zeki Amdouni and Jacob Brun-Larsen with 4 goals each. The most creative player between the two sides is former Burnley player Dwight McNeil. He's got 5 assists this season. Dara O'Shea follows behind with 4 assists.
There you go. That Burnley win just seems so far away, doesn't it? But anyway, let's have a little look at Burnley's main man at the moment.
Jacob Bruun Larsen.
I didn't think he was going to be the main man, I must admit.
The main man. But Ned shows, so fair play. 25 games, 4 goals from an XG of 3.58, no assists. And his XA is 1.39. Yeah, so there you go. I mean, he's got 2 in his last 3. I think that's why Ned's gone for him. He's obviously a very busy player.
Yeah, fair play.
You know, like I said before, they've got David Fofana as well, who spent some time at Union Berlin on loan, Chelsea striker, of course, but scored a few goals as well. So they got, and Jay Rodriguez, who was good at Chelsea. So they got some players who can cause you problems. And we've just got to be on it and make sure we are on it.
Yeah. Let's have a look at their team that faced Wolves as well. So Fofana was obviously back for that game because he couldn't play against Chelsea at the weekend, who were his parent club. Obviously, Lyle Foster back into the side as well recently as well, and he's a good player.
Got a goal in him as well. Sander Bears, we know all about. Big midfield.
And obviously they've changed the goalkeeper as well, haven't they, recently as well? So pretty formulaic, you know. And they've just had an upturn in confidence and realised that if they want to stay in the Premier League, they've got to score goals, and that's what they've done, haven't they? They've changed it around. Let's have a little look at our team from the other night against Newcastle. You can imagine there will be possible changes again, can't you? Because obviously he brought Ashley Young in, he brought Ben Godfrey from left back to right back. So whether he puts Seamus back in, I don't know. Whether he puts Harrison back in, you know, James Garner had a good cameo off the bench. So does he put him back in? Beto with now Dom scoring. Does he put Dom in? That's the thing. But the goal scorers have been coming off the bench in the last couple of games. Yeah. So who knows? There could be. Can you see changes? Ashley Young maybe going out and Harrison coming back in.
Possibly. He said he rested Harrison the other night, didn't he? He did say Amadou Onana's got a couple of issues.
No, that's helpful for him, isn't it? Because that means he can drop him.
I think there's issues are passing the ball forward. Sean doesn't like that. No, I think I can see changes. I think Dom will start. I think he'll come in for Beto. I think Beto will drop to the bench because I think he'll want Calvert-Lewin to build on that goalie, the feel of the goals. I think maybe Jack Harrison will come in for Ashley Young. Although Young did all right the other night, he might want to leave him in there and just have Harrison as maybe an impact sub. Fullback's interesting because obviously Michalenko will stay in the other two. Does he go for Shea back at Seamus back in at right back and take Godfrey out? I don't think he will. I think Ben Godfrey will play. So I can see definitely one change in Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and then the other one may well be Amadou Onana. It's just on the bench and he goes with James Garner and Adrissa Garner in the middle.
Interesting.
Because Andre Gomez was another one who got a little cameo the other night.
Come on, it's like Men in Black. This. Come on, we know what happens. I'm saying. I mean, let him have cameos off the bench.
What about Arna Danjuma? Because no one's asked him. He
said he's not ready.
He's not ready?
Not ready. Him and Dobbin are still not ready. So.
Okay.
No, I know.
No, Dobbin I understand, but Danjuma's trained for a week and was training on his own for 3 weeks.
What about Dele Alli? Sorry.
In the gym the other day on Insta.
He only has to miss 2 more games and
then he's all right.
He's free. Don't ever have to pay for him. Tremendous
We can play now. 2 games to go and then he can play the last 6 and we don't have to pay for him as well.
Just get in.
Said he could finish the season. He could be big. He could come back and score a winner in the derby.
Who knows?
You have to be fit to do it.
There you go. Anyway, let us know your thoughts on this game. Are you confident? Are you worried? I'm not going to say he's in a must-win because it is a must-win.
Well, it is a must-win because it'd be 15 games without a win if we didn't win.
Yeah. What record will Sean Dyche's side break this week?
9-0 up at our
Who knows? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to give this video a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you want more great videos, join us over on Toffee TV Premier. where all the videos are ad-free and all the podcasts are ad-free. And who wants pesky ads when you're trying to watch and listen to things? I don't know. The link is in the description and the QR code's coming on the screen now. See you later.